cheesy, gooey, warm, delicious pizza. I love pizza. Now, when Italians made this, I think they knew a little bit what they were doing, like pizza. But to think about it, did Italians really make pizza?
And never an excuse I made up. Tell you the truth, I hate what didn't kill me. It never made me stronger at all. Lord.
The different types of pizzas there are in the world. Let's start off with the first, the original, the Big Kahuna. Actually, the first pizza didn't even have tomatoes. It just had like bread and then dates and then spices and herbs and then some olive oil, some cheese, and then you kind of came to Italy, peasants were actually the ones eating it because a lot of the people didn't think that pizzas were worth for the richer class. So a lot of the peasants, they would dig through the trash cans and they would find and put whatever they could on the flatbreads. Now, a lot of the times, people thought that tomatoes were actually just used for decoration and were poisonous, but not to the peasants. The peasants actually grabbed the tomatoes that a lot of people would throw out because they went bad, and they'd put it on top of their pizza. Now one day, one of the queens or the royalties were walking and they go, I want to try that. I want you to cook me that. So they did, they put the tomatoes on and they fell in love with it. And that's how we began to be putting the tomato sauces on our pizzas. Spruce it up a little bit with the marinara, which is basically your tomato, your garlic, your olive oil, and your oregano. And then the Italians decided to add more stuff to it, which made them margherita pizza, which was basically tomato, basil, and mozzarella. Now, did you know that the margherita pizza is actually named after a Queen Margherita? I don't know where she's from, but it was made by her. They named it after her because she loved it so much. And then, the simple pizza, which is the pizza Napolitana. Napolitana? Napolitana? I don't know. Anyways, what it's basically made out of is your basic dough plus raw tomatoes, fresh mozzarella, fresh basil, olive oil, and that's that. It's basically the margherita and the marinara combined into two to make pizza. Then varied off to our personal favorite pizzas, which are our stuffed crust pizza, which is like, you know, they have like the cheesy pops and then you take it off and it's just cheese. And then you have, you know, your tomato pies, which is basically the reverse, because, you know, Italians just like to do that kind of stuff to us. They just like to reverse everything when everything's already perfect. Putting cheese and then tomato sauce on top. Italians, man. And then you have your calzones, which is like a lazy person pizza, which is like you fold it. It's not like your New York fold where you just fold like that. No, it's actually meant to be like a folded pizza. It's a calzone. And then, I don't know what's up with people from Chicago, but they made these things called deep dish pizzas, which are kind of gross. It's just all toppings, and then you have like a thin thing of, you know, crust, which is really, it shouldn't even be called pizza, but let's just say it's pizza. New York slice is the best, straight up.
And never an excuse I made up. Tell you the truth, I hate what didn't kill me. It never made me stronger at all. Lord, and never an excuse I made up. Tell you the truth, I hate what didn't kill me. It never
stands for a long title association, which I'm not gonna say because I don't know how to say it. Anyways, it'll be featured like on the bottom or something where it says the actual name. So basically, in order to be certified by ADPN, the pizza dough must be contained of either 0 or 00 wheat flour, and must use fresh brewer's yeast, not that powdered stuff that everyone uses. And then it also has to contain water and salt. The pizza dough has to be kneaded by hand, not by the rolling pin, like that. You have to like knead it by hand and compress it, Now the sauce is only made from raw pureed San Marzano tomatoes. And the cheese on top of this amazing pizza is made from 2 cheeses, which is either a cow's milk cheese, which is called Fior di Latte, which is from France, or mozzarella di bufala, which is a water buffalo cheese that comes from either Campania, which is in southern Italy, or Lazio marshlands, which is located near Rome.
Since pizzas have become more famous, each country has their own distinct style to their pizzas. For instance, the #1 topping in the United States is actually pepperoni. Oh, pepperoni! In India, it's actually pickled ginger, minced mutton, yeah, and pan-cured cheese, which I don't really know what that is. Sorry, I don't know. And then in Japan, it's actually mayo jaga, which is a mixture of mayonnaise, potatoes, and bacon. And they also enjoy putting eel and squid on their pizza. And then the Brazilians, they really enjoy putting green peas on their pizza, which actually it's like green peas and they add their cheese on top. In Russia, they add red herring, which is a fish. So instead of using like anchovies, they use the herring. In the Philippines, they really like adding the Hawaiian, the pineapple, and the ham, and even times they come up with their new things like burger pizza or adobo pizza. Yeah, weird, right? And double pizza. So, what makes a perfect pizza? Do you guys know? Well, according to the Italians, pizza, in order to be perfect, must be used with local ingredients and the freshest ingredients. So you can't be using ingredients that contain any of the processed foods or any of the chemicals. Everything has to be made on spot and fresh.